Alright guys, I went over to my neighbor and there he goes. I think it's a 3x2 or a 2.5x2, and it's what, maybe 7-8 feet tall, and it's heavy duty, so that's what I'm going to use to help strengthen that pole back there. I think you may be seeing the pole. I'm not positive. Oh, you're seeing some of it there now. Yeah, so we're up about 40 feet, which is good. So, alright, short video, we're done. Well guys, you're probably seeing blurriness only because I'm shooting through a dirty window and a screen, and that's where we're at. Let me try to get away from that screen. Well, I'm going to bring you over here. I tried to get that tree removed, well, moved, replaced, or replacing. I tried to move it. It was laid right over. Getting it out the rest of the way, it wasn't a problem. However, trying to get it upright was a nightmare, and it didn't want to cooperate. And first of all, it was heavy. I mean, it was heavy. It doesn't look that heavy, but it was heavy. Too heavy to just manhandle it. Every move had to be done with the tractor. The problem being is, every time you try to make a move with the tractor, you had to move the tractor, so you had to keep tying it off and driving it in the ground. And you drive something in the ground 3 feet, you leave out like 6 inches to tie a line to it, and by the time you get around the other side, it pulled that 3 feet right out of the ground. I mean, that's all there is to it. And it's a calm day. So after dealing with it for over an hour, I finally said, you know what? Screw it. Now at first I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll just cut the top off it, because the trunk itself is in good shape, so it'll still get nourishment to the rest of the tree, and maybe it'll just continue to grow. So I took off about 6 feet, and you know what? Still too much to work with. You know, well, just with me, and naturally the wife tries to help, but she really can't do a lot. If I had maybe 3 guys, 4 guys with me, I can probably salvage it, but at this point, you know, it's not going to happen. So I just decided, screw it. As much as I hate to let it die off like that, I'm just going to have to let it go. Now this one over here, which is still standing, it's a little crooked, as you can see. I think I can salvage that one just by tightening it up. Well, that's what happened with the other one. And that last big snowstorm we had took it right out. So, you know, I noticed that they haven't got a very deep or wide root system. They're really shallow, and I was surprised of that, to be honest with you. But other than that, I'll try to salvage that one. You know, I'll tie it up and see what we can do as far as keeping it. I dug 2 holes because I was going to move them over to here, over to this side, where the tractor is laying over here, where the old tree is laying there. And I dug 2 holes about 20 feet, 25 feet apart, and I was going to put them next to one another again, but not as close. So, but it's not going to happen. I wouldn't have had them that close together to start with, but when I bought them, the guy, I should have known better when you talk to somebody at Home Depot. I had asked him how much space do they need between them, because I was going to try to plant them, you know, somewhat close together. He goes, oh, they're not going to get any wider. Just get maybe 1.5 to 2 feet wide, he says, and they grow upright. Oh, okay. So I says, fine. So when I planted them, I put them about 6 to 8 feet apart. Well, you've seen what happened. They ended up, let me do something here with this autofocus. So the autofocus wants to focus on the closest item. But meanwhile, as you see, they grow wide. They've got, I would say, close to a 12-foot spread. So that was that. Anyway, that's where we are. We tried. I worked on the antenna pole a little more out there today as well. I did that a little bit this morning while the wife was doing a few things in the house. Sorry about that, guys. I'm playing with this stupid tripod. This tripod drives me crazy. It's a nice tripod, it really is, but it drives me nuts. So meanwhile, what time is it? Well, it's 2:45. So I've actually been out there for almost, almost 3 hours. Because I went out there right after I did the hello, good morning thing. And that was about 11:15. And I hung out and had a cup of coffee. And so I got out there about 11:45, 12 o'clock. So I've been out there about 3 hours dealing with that. Longer than I thought. So, but the pole is up. I just got to have the wife. I told her to go in and take a break because she came out and she was struggling to help me. And, you know, it's a lot for her. So I told her, you know what, just go inside, relax. I says, and, you know, take a nap, do whatever you want to do. And, you know, give me about an hour and come on back out. And I want to jump in the bucket so she can lift me up because I got to drive in a pole. So I says, you know, you can just sit in the tractor and work the bucket. So that's where we're at there. All right, guys. Okay, guys. I don't know if you're seeing this or not because I'm looking through very dark glasses. I should change them out, but the pole is up. There's 2 pulleys up there. The pole, it was approximate, well actually the wife had to lift me up in the bucket, so it was probably close to 10 feet long, which was that 3x2 angle. And I drove it in the ground probably 4 feet. Actually it was longer than that. Because I drove it in the ground, I know 4 feet because there was a mark there. And there's more than 6 feet off the top. So there's probably 8 feet up there. So it was a lot longer actually. But anyway, it's in the ground, the pole's solid, it's standing. There's only one, well there's 3 pieces of paracord kind of just holding it there. Not that that's going to hold it up, but I just want to use them as a little bit of a strain relief so that when I do put the wire on from there to here, it'll have a little bit of tension on the backside. Yeah, other than that, that's done. And I just tightened up the wire on this one over here because that was starting to droop a little bit. So I tightened that up a little bit more. That tree is out of there. And it's not going up anywhere. Unfortunately, I can't get it up there. And I hate to see a good tree die like that, but there's just no way in hell that I was going to get it up there. You know what? I may try it again tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens, how the weather works. That one I'm going to tie up and hopefully not lose it. As you can see, it's leaning. But when the wind comes across there, I had a 4 foot, not the actual T-bar for fence, but that green post. And I drove that in so that there was only 6 inches hanging out. So there was 3.5 feet in the ground. And I had it on an angle so that it was angling and facing away from the tree. And with the winds we had the other day against the tree, it pulled that right out of the ground. Right out, all the way, done. So it just wasn't going to happen. So at that point, we'll see if this one holds up. If we don't get any strong winds and it has the rest of the year to reroot a little bit once I tie it in, I'm talking about the one that's still standing but a little crooked, it'll have a chance. But if not, it'll end up coming down. And they are heavy, and they're just a little too heavy for me even with the tractor, to handle it on my own, because I use the tractor, I get it into a position, then I tie off that one position, to a stake that I put in the ground, and I'm putting the stake out there, so it's not like right under the tree. I'm sticking it out there, 15 feet or better, and I'm tying it halfway up the tree, as far as I can reach, and I put a piece of rubber hose around the line first so that it doesn't, chew up the bark. So I feed the line through a hose, which helps. And I've got, on the other tree I had 4 lines. But by the time you get one done, and you got to end up moving the tractor to get to the other one, you don't have anybody on the lines, it just wants to keep falling down. So I said, you know what, I had to give up on it. That's all there is to it. So, meanwhile, it's about 3:30 or so. I don't even know what time it is. Let me see. Oh, it was a call. Stony Creek. Stony Creek Antiques. Let me dismiss that. What time is it? It's 4 o'clock. I've been out here all day. So I'm going in. Even though it's really 3 o'clock. Yeah. Catch you guys later.